Happy belated 4th of July, folks. I hope everyone still has all their fingers and toes. I'm not exactly sure if comic shipments are delayed this week or not, but here's another murder's row of horror comics coming out sometime this week in the genre of horror. Remember, this isn't a set of reviews, just a list of what you'll find when you head to the shops this week in Comics Horror, July 5th, 2023. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights. I'm ML Miller. Before we begin, please do me a favor and punch that like button down below. Share this video with all of your social media addicted pals. Click subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for notifications. Let's check out This Week in Comics Horror, July 5th, 2023. As always, we begin with This Week in
Ass, titties, ass and titties.
Highlighting the female form and all of its curves that somehow seems intrinsically tied to the horror genre. First, my pal Holly Interlandi writes the character created by Kiss's Gene Simmons called Dominatrix. This first issue reintroduces the character in this new modern age. Dominatrix debuted quite a while ago, in the 90s I believe, and that cover introduces us to a whole new set of leather-clad Draculina number 4 is written by legit talented writer Christopher Priest. He's one of my faves. And the titular character is dealing with a serial killer who is killing Vampirella lookalikes. Sounds like a perfect time for a guest appearance by Draculina's sister, Vampirella.
Give me a boo, boo. Give me a B, B. Give me a S, S. Go boo!
Dynamite Entertainment doesn't only do comics with knockers on the covers. They also have some licensed titles that have horror roots. Kong, the Great War #2 takes a look at Kong through the ages and sees what happens on Skull Island during World War I. Alex Cox provides both art and words. It's awesome to see my friend Sue Lee acting as writer and artist on Disney Villains' Maleficent. The 3rd issue comes out this week. And if you're gaga for Gargoyles, the 7th issue, written by Greg Weisman and drawn by George Kambadais, is coming out this week as well. This Week in Dark Horse Comics brings a pair of titles for those with a taste for terror. Survival is a story about a fringe group of survivalists as they face an all-out war from what they think to be a rival group, but they actually turn out to be vampires. This is cold, gritty wilderness action from Sean Lewis and Bryndon Everett. And Matt Kindt and Tyler Jenkins deliver another chapter about a little girl and her cat, which seems to be a demon bent on destroying her sanity and life, and somehow has ties to ancient Egyptian mythology. This is weird, mesmerizing, and unexpected stuff, and it's coming at you in this HAIRBALL series. In This Week in Image Comics, once again, Image has proven to always have a great group of horror titles coming out every week. I Hate This Place, number 10, draws to a close the story of a couple who inherit a spooky cabin in the middle of a spookier woods. See if the cabin and the couple are still standing by the end of this final issue by Kyle Starks and Artyom Topilin. Over in The Walking Dead Deluxe, number 66, Rick and the gang must make a decision whether to spare the cannibals they met last issue, or if the world where the dead walk would be better without them. This is a killer arc to one of my all-time favorite series from the usual gang of Kirkman and Adlard. Last issue in Phantom Road, our road-weary travelers found themselves trapped in the back of their semi-truck with monsters swarming outside. Before they get their payload to its destination in this 5th issue, they have to get out of this gnarly situation. And Blood Tree number 6 is the last issue of this cop procedural/serial killer series, as the detectives have their final confrontation with the Angel Killer. This has been a fantastic title from one of my favorite writers, Peter J. Tomasi, and that cover is one powerful image from series artist Maxim Simic. This Week in DC Horror Comics brings forth Night Terrors, a line-wide crossover where it appears Dr. Destiny has amped up in power and is acting like Freddy Krueger, dancing through the dreams of your favorite DC heroes and villains and bringing their worst fears to life. This week's Night Terrors, First Blood number 1, starts out the events. It's written by Joshua Williamson and drawn by former JLA artist Howard Porter. Then this series moves on to Batman, Poison Ivy, Joker, Black Adam, and Ravager, from writers like G. Willow Wilson, Matt Rosenberg, Ed Brisson, and Jeremy Hahn. I don't know if I'm going to be able to check out all of these, but I'm interested in what DC calls horror these days, so I might give this crossover a shot, even though I tend to avoid these types of crossovers like the plague, as they're so disruptive to the ongoing storylines. If you were following any DC titles recently, prepare for the storylines to go on hiatus for this 2-month summer crossover. It could be a hit or a dud. The verdict is still out. But I like Joshua Williamson as a writer, so I'm going to give it a chance. The book I'm looking most forward to this week is Swan Songs. W. Maxwell Prince is taking a break from one-and-done stories in Ice Cream Man and dealing with a cheerier topic, death. It's actually about how things come to an end and how they never really do. I'm a huge fan of Prince's one-shot tales and haven't been disappointed by this powerful, insightful short story writer's work. Well, that was 18 horror comics on the shelves this week. Surely there's something in there that you'll find worth your money and time. Let me know which ones look good to you down in the comments.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. You're doomed. God live the life that you are meant to be. Live inside that